Well, hello. It's not Grav. Sorry. No, Grav held down the fort. He did watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Grav. Because I was gone. I was at a wedding in Winnipeg. It was great. They had kokanee. I haven't found kokanee in Ontario in a long time. Anyway, no, I should probably say what this is. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. The Battle of Alberta. Game 4. When I left you, it was a silly series, wasn't it? A very silly series indeed. Flames had a 6-2 lead. Blew it. Found a way to win anyway. Matthew Tkachuk got a hat trick. His dad didn't throw his hat. And that would be a bad omen that would haunt the Calgary Flames for the rest of the series so far. Because since Keith Tkachuk refused to throw a hat for his son, the Flames have not won. It's a 2-1 series lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Evander Kane with a playoff hat trick. He's been a great fit in Edmonton. Don't get me wrong. But here's how good the Oilers have been to Evander Kane in the same way that he has been good to them. 10 goals and 13 points in 10 playoff games with the Oilers. He had 13 points, only 6 of which were goals, in his entire 29-game tenure with the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And prior to that, he had no playoff experience because he played for the Sabres, the Jets, when they were bad, and the Thrashers when they were bad, which was always. Dude, he was unreal. And Zach Hyman opening the scoring, Shillington getting one late for the Flames, but they were never really in it. Shots by period, 21-7 for Edmonton. Ew! 13-12, that was a little bit better. And then the Flames, 14-7 in the third, but that's just not enough to get it done. Connor McDavid has been playing bananas out of his mind. And you know where you can go bananas out of your mind? Shop Sportsnet.store. That's right. Why don't you do that? You can get a shirt like this. When your team gets outshot by a lot and then goes down 2-1 in a series, you can say, that's dang it. You can get that on shopsportsnet.store and a bunch of other merch like this. You got the beer stein. If it's one bite, it's biting. If it's 2 bites, it's eating. That's a Brady Tkachuk shirt and therefore a Flame shirt. Welcome to the Paddle Save Emporium. We got toddler stuff that's not just a very small shirt. If it was, it wouldn't fit me. If you're a goaltender, 10 the goal. That's dang it. And a bunch of other stuff. Also, 32 Thoughts merch is up there now as well. Big news if you're a Flames fan. Big news. And hopefully adds to your chances of tying this series up tonight. Hanifin Anderson, top pair. You knew that. Tanev Shillington. There he is on the second pair. Zadorov, Goodbranson. Stone is the extra. Chris Tanev returning to the lineup for the Calgary Flames. Snaps. Elliot Friedman was talking about how beautiful his hair is on the broadcast, on the TV broadcast. I have to clarify on the TV broadcast, because this is the broadcast, gosh darn it. Let's watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. By the way, click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, and if you leave a question in the chat, I will answer it. Steve, what are you doing here? Okay, I'm not going to answer that. Steve, why are you so ugly? Okay, I'm not going to. Nice ones pertaining to the game. How dare you? Mac. Oh, here's a good one. Will Markstrom be better this game? So we were actually discussing this behind the scenes before this started. And I'm not sure Markstrom was that bad in game 3. He had an 8.22 save percentage. That's not very good, but I kind of hate when people bring up save percentage in individual games, like in single games. I don't think it works. I think it's the sort of stat that only works over a sample size of games, a decent sample size of games. At least 3, I think, right? When it's that micro, I think you have to look at the goals. And at worst, I think you look at Markstrom's performance from game 3 and you're like, okay, it'd be nice if you stole a couple of those. But ultimately, especially in the first half of the game, especially in the first period, which the Flames escaped with a 0-0 tie, by the way, only because of Markstrom. The amount of shots, the amount of chances that Calgary gave up to Edmonton, I'm not sure Markstrom's the problem. After game 2, I might have said that. Game 3, I think it was just Edmonton outplayed them. And that's why I think it's cute that, Matthew Tkachuk and a few others are talking about Oilers being a one-man team. It's a bold thing to say when that's not even the dude who got the hat trick. like, come on, man. Come on. You got to give them your props, or their props. I know it's the playoffs and it's gamesmanship and stuff, but I just don't see how that's anything but bulletin board material for the Edmonton Oilers. I don't see how it gasses up the Flames at all. Snarky score predictions. I don't think a Darryl Sutter team is going to be that bad twice in the playoffs. I could be wrong. So I think it'll be a far more defensive game. Oh, man. I still think it's going to be 4-3. See, you didn't ask for who, though. You didn't ask for who. So that's all you're going to get. I know what you're trying to do. All right? Because I'm neutral here. There's Oilers fans and there's Flames fans. You've been working my mentions. I've been seeing you. I saw this guy say Oilers fan Steve is going to make an appearance before the series is done. Don't you tempt me, you Oilers temptress. How dare you? I am neutral broadcaster man for this. I do not cheer for the Oilers. I do not cheer for the Flames. You are getting capital J journalism with me. Justin, is Tyler Toffoli a playoff performer? Wow, that's not even the end of the question. What's the sense you get of him since he was the main Flames pickup? Well, okay, he was the main Flames pickup. I have to check something because I'm amazed you would even ask that. And you have to understand, this is as a Leafs fan. Yeah, okay. So Tyler Toffoli, who went to the Stanley Cup final last year, had 14 points in 22 games with the Montreal Canadiens, which put him second on the Habs in scoring, only 2 points behind Nick Suzuki. So, yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely say he's a playoff performer. Is he struggling with the Flames? Sure. I've always kind of wondered about him as a fit on the Flames. I don't know. Like, sometimes it's not that a team is bad or a player is bad. And sometimes it's just not a fit. It's just not the right fit. I do think he's a playoff performer. Definitely. Oh my God. Bearing the lead a little bit here. So sorry, I was just looking through his NHL career. Forget being a Stanley Cup finalist last year. The dude won a cup. He won a cup with the Kings. 14 points in 26 games in 2014. Granted, that's a long time ago. I know. But both of his runs with the Vancouver Canucks and with the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry, like, he hasn't been that great with the Flames. That doesn't mean Tyler Toffoli doesn't know how to get it done in the playoffs. Sometimes it's just a fit thing. Matt, how was Winnipeg? Winnipeg was great. I enjoyed Winnipeg. Went to a wedding there. The groom, who's my friend, he was a groomsman in my wedding. His family owns a catering company, and his wife is a chef. So the food was very good. So was the whiskey. That's unrelated, but yeah, it was really good. Hayden, how long will it take for a fight to happen? I think the Flames are getting way too involved with all the extracurriculars, to be honest. Like, you got to the playoffs as a team that was rough, wasn't afraid of toil, but you didn't necessarily have to initiate the rough stuff all the time. By the way, Milan Lucic not getting suspended for running over Mike Smith. Those two are former teammates, and it's not often that you can use an argument like this and get me on your side. But Daryl Sutter basically said, Lucic got called for charging, which he did, 5-minute major. And he goes, if Lucic wanted to charge him, neither of them would have been playing in that for the rest of the game. And I thought about that and I said, you know what, Daryl, you're right. I go back. Some of you youngins might not even remember this because it was a long time ago, but Milan Lucic trucked Ryan Miller when he was still goalie for the Buffalo Sabres. And no Sabre said anything to Lucic. No one fought. They fought him the next time they faced each other. And you could even tell Lucic sort of took it easy. Like, hey, I know you don't want to fight me because you're not in my league at all. Milan Lucic is still a tough dude. He's still an NHL player. His underlying metrics aren't very good, but here we are. Lucic around 2011, 2012. That hit happened in 2012. Monster. An absolute hiding under your bed, scary monster. You say Lucic in the mirror. Kids would say Lucic in the mirror 3 times at a party as a dare, and they would get to 2.5 and go, I can't do it. He's terrifying. He was terrifying. But that was a decade ago. I think the Flames would be wise to avoid the fights. Don't back down. If the gloves come off, they come off. But let it happen naturally. Don't go looking for it. Zero asks, close game or a blowout? I mean, listen, if you're an Oilers fan, you want an Oilers blowout. If you're a Flames fan, you want a Flames blowout. I am neither. I want a close game. Ooh, that could mean overtime, which could mean playing till 1 or 2 in the morning. I got work tomorrow. Screw it. It's going to be a close game. You know what? I've been ridiculously lucky when it comes to not having to do long overtime games. I think, how many overtime games have we ever done in the playoffs? There was one Leaf game this year, and I want to say there was one Habs. Oh, no, there was obviously 2 Leafs-Habs ones last year. And the Habs went to overtime with Vegas once, I think. I don't think we've ever hit double OT, though. I don't think we've ever hit double OT. Well, we're going to have a quadruple header tonight. You're going to get 2 1/3 games tonight. All the producers behind the scenes like, shut up. No, I can't. Cloudy, thoughts on the Canucks next year? Okay, can we all have a get together? Can we all bond as friends? Boo! Thoughts on who? The Canucks. Boo! You know what? The Canucks and Oilers share some similarities in that they were different teams. Actually, Canucks were in the playoff race for quite some time. They were both different teams once they made a coaching change. Oilers were in a better spot to succeed than the Canucks were. But I think it's very obvious that the coaching change was needed and worked. Jay Woodcroft with the Oilers, Bruce Boudreau with the Canucks. I think that'll carry over for Bruce Boudreau. And with the change at the top, like for personnel decisions, and Patrick Olivan, I think the Canucks they're going to have a very interesting offseason. I don't think you do what the Canucks did last year and you don't make significant changes. Excuse me. October, does Mike Smith come back next year? Isn't he under contract? I got to check that out, because that's one of the weirdest, wildest contracts in the league. To sign a 39-year-old goalie until he's 41. Yeah, so here it is. Capfriendly.com. Bless them. $2.2 million against the cap this season and next. Dude. I mean, listen, I know he's still in the playoffs, but it was wild when he signed it, and it's still wild today. Ugh. Some of my coffee went down the wrong. Ugh. Questions, by the way, in the chat as we wait for puck drop. Just let me know. They're just finishing up the anthem, being told. It felt long. I was wondering what was going on. Moments away. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Cashton, what's your favorite merch item? I need suggestions. They have, so I have the old, that's a Dang It mug. They now have Dang It mugs, obviously, in Hat Picks mugs, but they're bigger. They're bigger than these ones. So if you have an espresso machine or something like that, the bigger mugs are better suited for that. Did Matthew Tkachuk just yawn? I don't think I saw that. Get him the smelling salts. Get it in ya. Chris Tanev back in the lineup. Oilers fans, always in the lineup. Game 4, the Battle of Alberta. Edmonton Oilers hosting the Calgary Flames. Get it. Get it. Chris Tanev with that beautiful mane, and the puck is dropped.
Connor McDavid has not started for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins along with Puliarvi and Hyman out against the
pure goaltender, 10 the goal. So one thing the NHL is going to have their, oh boy, giveaway, and they score already. Oh my goodness. When I'm hosting, someone's scoring in the first minute. That's just how it works. If you're a goaltender, 10 the goal. You asked if Markstrom's going to be better, and I said, I think he's going to be just fine. Shut up, Steve, you big idiot. 21 seconds in, the Flames, I mean, you got to be able to clear that. So that's 2 mistakes. Flames can't clear their own zone. Markstrom gives it right to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who puts it in, going Mach 10 on a bad angle. And Daryl Sutter saying, calm it down. He's seen this before. But 1 shot, 1 goal. I'm not a mathematician, but that ain't good. Wow. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Did Nuge score faster than the Flames did in game 1? I think they did. So I've done 2 games in the series, and we got 2 first-minute goals. That's like, dude. I know that's a Vezina candidate. Goalies. Stop. Stop. You're so rarely helping. Stop. And send a message to his team that he's got them. He's got to settle back in. This is like starting the game down 1-0. It's like a gauntlet match. This is MJF versus Chris Jericho in AEW. Wrestling fans? Wrestling fans? Now the Flames hoping to get a quick response, and then we can sort of start the game over again, I guess. Matthew Tkachuk puts it wide. There's Chris Tanev getting his first touch. Ooh. Oilers dump. A little bit of chase. Shillington, the Flames' lone goal scorer, breaks it out. Johnny Gaudreau, he's got to be massive in this one. Oilers stars just dramatically outplaying the Flame stars in this series so far. Big juicy rebound from Mike Smith, but the Oilers break it out. And here they come. This is going to be another scoring chance. Cody Ceci stopped. Oh boy. Flames reeling right now, and they have not calmed down the way Daryl Sutter wanted them to.
You'll hear it from the fans, just like Mike Smith heard it from the Calgary faithful in Game 1. Rasmus Anderson plays it in. That bounced over the paddle of Smith.
Flames battling along the boards. They're putting it on, looking to test Mike Smith early and often. Not a lot of it's getting through. And that one doesn't either. I think that was Yamamoto lost his stick. Oilers, bend, don't break. Break it out. Get it deep. Good Branson coughs it up. Here's the chance. Oh boy. Oilers looking real dangerous, real often, real early. Puck goes wide.
And now Goodbranson hands it off to Yarncroke.
Barry, I thought Barry looked great in Game 1. Tries to keep it deep. And the Flames exhausted as the Oilers go for a change. Zadorov's going to want to get off here pretty soon. What a start to this game for Edmonton. Mike Smith plays the puck, can't clear it.
So Brett Ritchie, who had scored in the first 2 games.
Man, oh man. Breakneck speed. I love it. Here come the Oilers. Too often we overhype a series. Wow. Double team on Tanev. Sometimes we can have too high expectations for a series. Sometimes you get disappointed. Battle of Florida. You look at that series on paper and you're like, yep, give me 7 games of that. Huge disappointment. It's one-sided. Tampa mops the floor with them. Battle of Alberta. This has been unreal. First game was 9-6. And this one, almost 2-0, but Darnell Nurse stopped by Jake Markstrom.
Daryl Sutter after that goal, 21 seconds in, just calm down everybody and mentioned as a goalie, you let that early one.
Oilers again looking dominant, getting the majority of the scarier looking chances. And that one almost creeping under the arm of Markstrom, where so many of the goals from Game 1 went in. And it's 1-0 Edmonton, and Calgary might be fortunate it's only that.
The Oilers make one change, maybe get Esatikin out in matchup duties.
Offensive zone draw for the Oilers. This is Watch the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, and get your questions in the chat as well. When there's a lull in the game, whatever the heck that is, whatever a lull is, I'll get to some of your questions. Mike Smith can't quite play the puck. Calgary gets it moving a little bit. They cough it up. Oilers break it out. Oilers having an excellent breakout so far in this game. Oh, this looks like another opportunity. Poked loose. Flames will get it out. Oilers looking like the Thrive team. Flames looking like the Survive team. You want to be the first one. Oh, here comes Calgary. Backlund. Making moves. Tkachuk. Pass. Oh, Smith with the save. Tanev scampers back to get it. I want to get a replay of that save. I want to see how much of that he got. Reminder, if I say anything that completely does not match the broadcast, I can't hear the broadcast. Oh, is that going to be interference on Zadorov? Probably should be. I didn't see him with the puck, did you? God, Zadorov's big. That's a big fella.
You got to know where the
Are we going to get another look at that save? I hope so. Here we go.
Smith has to respect Kachuk might take the shot.
Oh, that's a good save from Smith.
Last second, he just gets his arm in position, throws his body.
Yeah, a little bit of a hope and a prayer. Puts his head down after. I hope that was just him looking for the rebound and not actually an injury. He didn't look too comfortable there. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think of that mask? I can't tell if it's legendary or terrifying. Something about the painted on ears. Carey Price did that too, and I was like, I don't know about that, sir. I don't know. Here come the Oilers. Again. It's amazing. Like, the Oilers have looked like the more dangerous team so far in this game, with the exception of that scoring chance for Calgary. And you haven't really noticed McDavid as much. I expect that to change, like, right now. Here he is. Going 1-on-4, as you do. Loses it, though. Flames break it out. And dump it again. Oh, boy. Markstrom had the one giveaway. Smith's had a few close calls.
That's something that Calgary too often hasn't been able to get the offensive zone time. You've got to keep the puck away from Mike Smith. And
Oilers playing possum a little bit.
Softly so that he can't go get it in the no-play zone.
McDavid went to the bench, so Lindholm comes out this time along with Kachuk and Gaudreau, and it's offside at the Oiler line.
Flames offside.
So 6:04.
This line has got to be better in this one. Lindholm got caved in Game 3. And the Oilers caving in the Flames in Game 1. Or minute 1, sorry, of Game 4. It's 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. This is Watch the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We will be right back after this little break. Watch the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Oh, this is bad news, Flames fans. Bad news. If you saw me look off camera there, my dog, who has been sleeping in this corner, just left the room. Now, ironically, he likes sleeping in this corner. And that's where my picture of Jerome McGinley is. My dog is named Iggy, because I named him after the golden goal. And he's fed up with this game. I'm tired of watching Jerome McGinley's team lose like this, and he left. But he's from Edmonton, you know that? Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog. You didn't. Man. By the way, oh, never mind. Never mind. We're going to watch this Oilers' potential scoring chance. Nuge loses it. So apparently we have a poll in the chat. Do you think Mike Smith's mask is terrifying or cool? And 69% of you think it's cool. What do we think of the 69% of you who think it's cool? What do we think about that, chat? Can you leave your thoughts on what you think about 69%? Oh, here's Mike Smith playing the puck again. That's a little terrifying. That's less cool. Unless the net is empty, then it's automatically goal. Oh! Oh, wow! Oh, boy! Huge collision between two Oilers behind the net. Zach Cassian, and I didn't see the other one. Oh, baby! They both got up. That had the potential to be real bad. Flames rip it on. Mike Smith stops it. We got to get a look at that on the replay broadcast. Was it Derek Ryan and Cassian? No, Archibald. Wham! Wow! They both played off pretty well. That's Zadorov. Woo! Just getting out of the way. Oh, gruesome. Both their helmets nearly fly off. Yeah, Cassian's going down the tunnel. That's tough. Oh. I haven't seen two teammates collide like that in a long time. Oh my God, I hope he's okay. That was brutal. Here come the Oilers. McDavid absorbing all the attention because why not? Flipped on. Oh, with scoring chance. And again, the Flames getting distracted by McDavid. Meanwhile, the puck was loose. Here comes Gaudreau. Partial break. He gets a shot. Stopped by Mike Smith. God, the Battle of Alberta rules. There's his mask. That's 69% of you say is cool. That was a great pass out to Gaudreau. Here he comes. Oh, Mike Smith just squeezing the arm to the ribs. The transition, you get a save at one end and get up the ice quickly. There haven't been God, a lot has happened. We're 8 minutes and 4 seconds into this game. 10 shots. Feels like more scoring chances than that somehow. 1-0 Oilers off a goal from the first minute. We got a Lucic face-off that he won. And let's see where this goes. Shillington dancing around. Whammo! And Mike Smith flop around like a fish. There was that big save he made earlier. Forgot all about that. I think the real winner of this series, no matter who wins, is us. And the real loser might be both teams because, like, how do you play a third and potentially fourth round after this series? This is a circus. Flames offside again. Oh no! Oh no! We got an Oilers player down. Fogel. What happened here? Toffoli going to the box. Down in a heap, and that's now 2 Oilers leaving the game before the period's even half done. Oh no, he's on the bench. Was the bench open? Oh! Is that a slew foot? Definitely interference. I'd want to get another look at that. Toffoli, though, going off. And now the Oilers have a power play. Flames, huge kill. This has to be a huge kill for them. They get the best of it early on, winning the face-off, getting it out in deep. Oh, Draisaitl! I'm going to do this on my own. Gets it to you-know-who. I'm not talking about Voldemort. Stops up. Gross. Pass. Doesn't get it through. Puck's still alive. The Oilers keep it in the zone. Barry. Over to McDavid. Puts it on. Stop. Flames can't get a hold of it. Oilers continue to work it around. Oh, McDavid is dancing. He's dancing. Gets it to Draisaitl, who works it to the point. Barry. I think he's looked great. And McDavid. Draisaitl can't get it back to McDavid. Barry will work it down low.
Leon Draisaitl, 24 power play goals in the regular season. Nugent Hopkins back to Barry.
Barry. Oh! Draisaitl's paddle even looks huge on the broadcast. It's hilarious. McDavid! Oh my God! Wide open, rips it! Doesn't score, but the rebound goes to Zach Hyman, who is having himself a series. What a player. What a game for the Oilers so far. Less than halfway through this first period, the Edmonton Oilers take the 2-0 lead. Here's a look at some of Hyman's work. Maybe the one Oiler on the ice who I didn't mention during that last sequence. Just standing there. He knows his job. Oh my God. Almost kicks it out. Almost doesn't get a piece of it. But almost isn't quite enough. As Chris Tanev almost clears it. And Hyman is having the time of his life. 5th goal, not of the playoffs. That would be good on its own. 5th goal of the series. Ugh. Calgary. Gotta find a way to get into this game. Shillington. He's had a little bit of that screw it, I'll do it myself in him in this game so far. I don't think that's going to work. Mike Smith covers it up. That might get you a goal. Lucic poking at it. And Tyson Barrie not saying anything, which is the right answer. I just got a text from a buddy. He said the Flames have 0 chance to win this series, which blows my mind. Blows my mind. Because again, remember, I didn't stream Game 2. I didn't stream Game 3. I was in Winnipeg. But my old pal Grav from the Sportsnet YouTube channel, he'd probably know a little bit better than me. After the Flames made it 6-2 in Game 1, I'm not sure what clicked on in the Oilers, and I'm not sure what clicked off in the Flames. But the Oilers looked... the second they made it 6-4, I'm going to say, I knew they were going to tie that game. I did. You could feel it. The 6-5 heading into the third, and you knew they were going to tie the game. And then they did, almost instantly. Yes, the Flames get away with the win. Flames, another hot start in Game 2. Blow it. Game 3, they didn't even get that. And now in Game 4, it's their worst start so far. Which, that's even up for some debate. They had a terrible start in Game 3. They just didn't get scored on. Now we're halfway through the first period. And a mistake from Markstrom leads to a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal. And a needless Toffoli penalty leads to a Zach Hyman power play goal. It's 2-0 Oilers. Flames lose this game. They go down 3-1. Not a place you want to be, really. No. If the Flames get back in this game, they have a chance right here in the O-Zone. And they win it back. Mangiapane. He's got to be a factor. Basically, every Flame who touches the puck has to be a factor, and they fire it wide. McDavid and Draisaitl with the assist on the Hyman goal, by the way, because of course. Flames have been whaling a bunch of point shots on, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Whoa, big hit from Coleman. I'm not saying it's wrong to fire it from the point. I actually think a lot of teams don't do it enough. But you got to get it through, and you got to have a guy in front. And the Flames have not done a good job getting it through tonight. Oilers standing the Flames up in the neutral zone. Not something that we said very often before Jay Woodcroft came along. Not something that we said often in the first half of the season. And I said when we were doing our playoff predictions, like, listen, I thought the Flames were going to go far. We still might. But not enough people were talking about how good the Oilers were down the stretch. And you can look at the full season, you can look at the full picture, and I get it, that makes sense. McDavid dumped behind the play. You can look at the full season, you can look at the full picture, but the way they played down the stretch made them one of the best teams in the league. Here's Draisaitl in the Flame zone. And again, it seems when the Flames have an opportunity
Stanley Cup playoff games,
the Oilers
Leon Draisaitl has
are able
one
to
more
stop
point.
it and break it out. When the Oilers have an opportunity, the Flames hold on for dear life and just dump it.
It's like coming into the game.
That has to change for Calgary if they're going to have a shot.
So you're almost down 2-0 to start the game. You got to find a way to get
Bang.
those back and then try to shut them down after.
Fogel ahead and Yamamoto chips it in.
Is that Fogel back out there? Looks like it. Whoa! Big hit from Stone.
By Stone. And Shillington feeds it ahead for Kachuk. Mentioned the slide.
Again, Flames struggling to break it out with speed. But here's Zadorov. He'll carry it in. Defense getting activated here, but Mike Smith covers it up.
Sharp angle attack.
We'll get a face-off. Mike Smith. Again, with the painted on ears. I don't know.
Well, if you heard Daryl Sutter's comment
Okay,
today,
here's one.
of the motivational ones
And I don't think we need this.
regular season line. And
Are we going to get an NHL goalie
players, they were 181
with a
plus
clear
181
mask?
during the regular season? They're minus 11 right now, and there's a little dig by your coach to say,
Like, literally just looks like a welder.
Get back in this series, and we'll see if
I just want to see it.
tonight's the night that they can get.
Look at
back
Buddy on the right. Is he hot?
4 goals, 12
Is he
points
hot or is he
combined for
repping?
that line so far. The
Couldn't tell.
top line of the Oilers had 10
He's in a
points,
hockey
3 alone.
building, so I'm going to say not
Kept
hot.
in by
Ooh, that's a good keep from the Flames.
by Duncan
And
Keith.
again, can't hold the
And
zone.
Tyson Barrie
Here come the
leads
Oilers with speed,
Oilers
which the
in
Flames have
front.
struggled to do.
Archibald shot ends up high.
On and over.
There's Cassian, bounced over his stick.
Flames missed the
Wide,
puck.
that shot
Markstrom
with
stops
a
it.
stick.
Cassian, who's back in this game
And some fencing
shockingly,
happening
after
between
running into
Stone
Josh
and Ryan.
Archibald,
Cassian has having words
letting
with
Markstrom know he's
Zadorov.
there.
Well, you look at the top guys. I mean, the amazing thing about this matchup, more than just the
Yeah,
battle
Flames
of
top
Alberta, is
line
you had
getting
100-point players
dominated
on each
the
side.
last couple
You had
games.
3 40-goal scorers in that top line of Lindholm, Gaudreau, and Kachuk, and in the game that they won.
Now, is this combined
very
plus minus?
impactful. And
'Cause
not
I don't
lost
know if I
under
like
head
that very
coach in the
much.
2 games they
Or
lost.
were they
had
scored on
1
11
score
times?
and 5-on-5, which is
Because
better
that would
than
be
bread and
something.
butter. And this was the
Top
best
line
5-on-5
in 2
game
games was scored on 11
part
times.
of the
Holy
build.
cow.
Sutter saying, great regular season line, you got to be better now. And
Flames need
you know,
more out of
those 2
Gaudreau
games
and
go,
more
they
out of
just gotta
Kachuk.
find a way to get some traction
not
and get
unfair,
something
it's
going positive here.
just the truth.
We mentioned the
Those are
shot
their star
attempts
players,
actually
man.
in the game favored
Lindholm,
Sutter's top line, but
-3 in game 3.
the other guys don't need as
Dude's a
many
Selke
chances
nominee.
to finish.
I just think again, though,
You need
last
more than
game,
that.
1806 for Gaudreau, 1748.
Shillington's
Kachuk
got the
at some
fire, though.
point,
I
you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna get criticized.
I like the way
Get me
he's
in the
playing.
20,
He's one of the
get me in
few Flames
21 range, and
tonight where I can say I actually like how he's playing. I'm sure he's enjoying having Tanev back in the lineup.
On the draw, Flames control. Mangiapane will flip it down, and Oliver Shillington ventures in deep. Sends it around where Coleman knocks it down, but a hand pass will stop play.
Oh, hand pass.
Well, survey says Family Feud can't
Coleman
look
not
like
liking
you
it.
on the show. Apply now at cbc.ca/Family Feud auditions.
Chris, you see,
Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with me,
back out
Steve
there
Dangle.
as that last shift,
I'm
though,
Steve
on that
Dangle.
power play,
Click
he
like.
spent an enormous amount of time on the
Click
bench.
subscribe. Tell all your friends. Oilers 2, Flames
Clearly he was in discomfort
2 less
trying
than
to
that.
get Zach Hyman in front on that one goal.
Tanev dumps it in.
Dumps it down in Evan Bouchard's corner.
This is not working, man. Oh, maybe I should shut up. Flames hold it at the line. Backlund. Shifty little move. Flames looking dangerous here. Put it on. And again, it doesn't get through. Blocked again. Doesn't get through. This is the most dangerous the Flames have looked in a while. The Mangiapane line has got to be big. They all got to be big, man. You're down 2-0. Shillington, what a move! I'm telling you, this guy's playing with fire tonight.
Back for Tanev and Coleman on the outside.
Coleman blocked again. Daryl Sutter's got some work to do, man. Whatever the Flames are doing is not working.
But then able to get in the shooting lane. There's an offensive zone shift for the Flames now. Now your top line comes out, got to fall.
And again, like Oilers fans, pipe in. Like, how often have the Oilers frustrated a team defensively, or how often did they do it before Jay Woodcroft came on board? Lindholm! Stopped by Smith. Flames with a bit of a push here. Oilers try to clear the zone. That's got to be a hand pass, though, and it is. And the faceoff will go back into the Oilers zone. That's only fair. Wham! Ooh, nasty shot block for Hyman. Oh, and Puljujarvi. Did he get it off the unpadded part of his glove? That's a tough one, man. Stanley Cup playoffs are brutal. Brutal. It's the most intense hockey, and you're playing, if you win the Stanley Cup, if you're fortunate enough, over 24 games. And I worry about a player like Zach Hyman because he plays a style of game that I like to call hard miles. And he's having such an unreal series, but you can't tell Zach Hyman not to block a shot. You always wonder, is that moment coming? Is the moment coming where he blocks a shot a certain way? You never know. You never know. Could turn the tide of a series. That's an injury the honest way, if there was an honest way to do it. I started talking about this earlier. I got interrupted by the Oilers rudely scoring in the first minute, which I didn't expect. But supposedly the NHL is keeping a closer eye on tonight's game because when the Oilers were up 4-0 in Game 3, a few players on the Flames were very obviously targeting Draisaitl's ankle, which you'll know he's not playing at 100% right now because he has an ankle injury. And what I said on Twitter today, because, you know, you go back and watch the plays and knowing the context of Draisaitl's injury, it's greasy. You know, guys slashing at his leg, but they're not like huge, reaching over their head slashes. At the beginning of the playoffs, the NHL set a precedent that trying to break your opponent's ankle is a $5,000 fine. Jared Spurgeon tried to break Pavel Buchnevich's ankle. He did. Not controversial. I saw the footage, didn't you? And he got a $5,000 fine for it. So the Flames, you know, poking at Draisaitl's ankle and giving him slashes that, frankly, might get 2 minutes. Probably won't, because in Game 3 they didn't. You know, the NHL saying they're keeping an eye on it. All they're saying is we're going to arbitrarily call a slash because people are upset. And to be clear, I am team, please don't intentionally injure players, you absolute greaseballs. But here we are. It's just such a greasy thing to do.
This game is action-packed. You should see what's streaming on CBC Gym.
And I don't know how the NHL handles that. I don't know if they have a desire to handle that. And Flames fans aren't going to want to hear this, but you should probably handle that. Not only is it a player in your league, but it's Leon fricking Draisaitl. I'm going to take the bold stance that targeting a player's ankle with blunt force trauma, which last time I checked is illegal with your stick, is bad. How do the Oilers even have to ask for that? Hey guys, I don't know if you saw this tweet going around, but they're trying to break one of the best players in the world's ankle. Can you politely ask them to not do that? Oh, Johnny Gaudreau with no stick. He subs off. Flames now out shooting the Oilers. They've had a pretty good pushback here. Markstrom trying to get Nurse's way. Actually kind of works. Whoa, big hit. Oh, do the Oilers have too many men there? Guess not. Cece off the boards and out. But it's going to be icing. Flames look at the ozone draw. That was Evander Kane with the big hit, I believe. Let's take another look at that. Yarncroke trying to break it out. And look out for that train. Ooh. Let's get a replay.
that one away as he saw
From the other angle, it looked like Kane's fist might have got him in the face. I guess not. I don't think Yarn Crook would be calmly sitting on the bench if that's what happened. Smith with another stop. Just saw that graphic. Kane had 10 hits in Game 3, leading all players plus a hat trick. Is that a good game? Is that good? I think that's good. Sounds good. Smith almost didn't get that one. That's a sneaky shot. I think he was surprised it got through everyone. So was I. Less than 4 minutes to go here in the first period. The Flames looking like they can at very least get on the board before intermission. That will be their mission for the rest of this period. Flames, they're starting to get shots through. Chipping away a little bit.
Those are the ones that slide through.
They're hoping for a squeaker. They're hoping for a bounce. They're hoping for a rebound. It's not the worst strategy in the world. These are things they might get, but if the Oilers continue to get in the way, it's hard to imagine Calgary getting back into this game with that strategy. They didn't like that face-off, so we're going to do it again.
He stopped 82 of 86. Reset issue here. Dan O'Rourke.
Are you adjusting the clock? Oh dear.
The referees with Cal Murchison and Mark
What's on that screen with the color bars and the puck? Oh, to be a fly on the most boring wall. Please change the clock. Okay. I will. Here we go. 3:51. Did they add 1 second back on? Is that how much? Flames. Oh, they win it, but Mangiapane flubs it. And here come the Oilers. They don't know where the puck is. Oilers get it deep. Hyman almost falls down, but he's going to get to this puck. Oh, almost does. On from Bouchard. Mangiapane gets it to Zadorov. Zadorov has had green light a couple times. Gets it on. Woo! Throws it through the crease. Again, the Flames are looking for a greasy one. They haven't found it yet, but they're getting closer. Backlund works it around. No one home. Lucic. On! Shillington blocked. This looks a little bit more like Flames hockey. Oilers doing a good job keeping them to the outside, though. Coleman. To the point. Tanev. Looked like intentionally wide. It didn't quite work out. Shillington puts it on. No one home. Flames! Again, looking for that bump in the slot. Don't get it. This is a lot of ozone time, though. This is a great shift for the Flames here. Shillington, this dude looks like he's on fire tonight. I'm expecting if Calgary gets back into the game, he's going to be a part of it. That's a nice little chip pass through to Lindholm. Wide. Flames are like changing personnel and everything. Look at the shift time. Oilers have forwards who are closing in on 2 minutes here. Got to be dying out there. Anderson. Blocked. Lindholm. Where is it? Lucci. Oh, is that a penalty? You don't want to take a dumb one. After all that, and the Oilers get it out. No, oh, they're not able to get it deep. Flames can take advantage of this. Not too slow. Both teams will get new personnel over. And that was the best little stretch for the Flames there. And it continues, though. Here comes their top line on side of the net. Do my eyes deceive me, or does Suter have the blender out a little bit? Or was that just a mixed line change? Yeah, this looks a little different here. 1:20 to go here in the first. Oh, McDavid taken down. That one just looked like a puck battle, though.
And now it's Evander
Kane, hat-trick from last game, and he scores! Oh boy, Markstrom. You asked before the game, and I thought he'd be better than this. He ain't. 3-0 Edmonton. Calgary has their best shift of the game, their best flurry, and their best opportunity to get into this game and bring themselves within one. McDavid brings it in. McDavid taken down, but the Oilers avenge him, getting the puck to a wide open Evander Kane. I don't know if there was a deflection, but I do know that it went in. And Kane has his 11th goal of the playoffs. 3-0 Edmonton, with barely over a minute to play in the first. 6 goals in 6 games for the late season acquisition of Evander Kane. I don't know if Sutter is capable of tearing the paint off the walls. I once had a former player tell me that his pregame speeches were nothing short of eulogies. But if there was ever a time to do it, it might be first intermission here in Game 4. His Flames down big on the road. And this isn't just losing any playoff game. This is going down 3-1 in the Battle of Alberta. Yes, you get to go back to Calgary after this, but it's going to be a long drive. Yeah, I think that shot might have been deflected. Oh, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Here's the pom-pom. You like the pom-pom? Yeah, you can't cheer too loud. That's a tough one. Front row too, huh? I don't know. I don't know. Man, look at the Oilers. They look composed, relaxed. They're having a good time. Draisaitl gets another point because of course he does. McDavid laying a hit. Flames get it deep again. And it kind of works. Well, it's working. Now again, nothing dangerous. There was a graphic up. The Flames have had considerably more ozone time, but it's been a whole lot of nothing. And we'll head to first intermission. Goal in the first minute from Nuge. Power play goal from Zach Hyman. And what might have been a deflective snipe from Evander Kane. The Edmonton Oilers lead 3-0. Woo! Over the Calgary Flames after one period here in the Battle of Alberta. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. When we come back, I'll be answering some of your questions. We got a lot of them from the chat, everybody. But your first intermission entertainment, don't go anywhere. Tim and friends discuss Evander Kane. How timely. He just put the Oilers up 3-0. So here it is, a little clip from Tim and friends discussing Evander Kane.
I'll just hit a button for what we've seen in the Battle of Alberta so far.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
It has been entertaining to say the least. Speaking of entertaining, we bring in our friend ESPN analyst, NHL Network analyst, and Scarborough Ute, Kevin Weeks joins me now. What's going on, Kev?
I'm good, man. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well back home. How are you?
I know you love coming back on in your home and native land. I am very well. Thank you for asking, and we appreciate you coming back on in our home and native land. So I think it's safe to say the whole hockey world, not just Canada, abuzz with what Connor McDavid is doing right now. I've kind of run out of words to describe it. So earlier today, I said, and if you need a little bit more context, I can provide it. I think he might be the best athlete on planet Earth right now. And I say that because, listen, Tiger's not what he used to be. Serena hasn't been at the top in a while. You could argue who the best basketball player on planet Earth is right now. LeBron kind of fading off. Ronaldo, Messi. Like, there are a kind of an open lane here for McDavid to kind of walk through. Are you at that kind of level when it comes to Connor McDavid right now?
Yeah, I am, because like you, I'm an all sports man, and I certainly respect all those great athletes that you mentioned. The great Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
You forgot Kareem Benzema. I know there's too many to get in, of course. Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. There's so many across the sports landscape. But what Connor McDavid's doing is absolutely mind blowing. It's really cool, actually, watching him perform. And us covering that series on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I keep telling everybody on set with us, whether it's Ryan Callahan, Steve Levy, whoever we have on set, we're saying the same thing. We're echoing this. This is absolute historic. And I'm going to tell you, I remember being at Madison Square Garden just before the pandemic hit when the Oilers were here. And I was talking to the great Wayne Gretzky in the dressing room or the visitors room. And he said, Weeksy, I've never seen anybody like this before. And that's the greatest player that's ever played our sport. And he said that. So, I take it from him. I played against Wayne Gretzky. He had a 4-point night on me when they won 4-3 against us when I came to the league, when I was at the Panthers. And for him to say that about Connor McDavid, that puts everything in context for me.
Okay, so what makes him so special? Like, I mean, Gretzky, it was the brain. He did things, he was meticulous in what he did, but he wasn't going to overwhelm you with skill. Lemieux had skill and he had size, so he could body you a little bit, then do those. What makes McDavid special?
I played against both those greats that you just mentioned, both in Wayne and Mario. I didn't play against Connor because of our age difference, but what I can tell you is watching him play is like seeing a fighter jet at full speed on the ice. That's what it's like. I remember doing World Cup of Hockey back home in Toronto for ESPN in 2016. And if you remember that Team North America, right? And I remember seeing him. That was the first time I saw him at ice level. And that game looked like it was on warp speed watching Team North America, specifically that game against Sweden. If you remember that iconic game where they won 4-3, McKinnon, I think, ended up scoring the overtime goal. But watching Connor at that level, I've never seen a player as fast as him. That includes Mike Gardner, the great Pavel Bure, all those great players that I mentioned to you before that were supersonic, hypersonic with their speed. I've never seen anything like that with Connor. So it's the hands, it's his brain, his ability to compute what he's seeing in the process and make plays. It's the skill set that he's able to display with that speed and tempo. We've never seen anything like it. And that's why I say nightly, for all the great athletes that are out there right now and all the great sports across the world, there's nobody that's dominant like him. And I would also say this too, in a unique way, Austin Matthews, the Toronto Maple Leafs, is in that very same stratosphere. He's unique. He's the best Leaf I've ever seen in my time. So our league is blessed to have great players of this ilk that are just entertaining fans all across the world, back home in Canada, here in the U.S., and around the world right now.
Yeah, I love what you said, the process, like in the world of mini discs and microchips and where we're going,
Exactly.
his processing speed is like ridiculous. So because of all those goals in game one and what McDavid's doing, a lot of things are being lost in this series. Give me the one guy or the one thing that's been overlooked a little too much in the Battle of Alberta. We've seen Zach Hyman do some great things. We've seen Evander Kane's got 10 goals in 10 games as a member of the Oilers, and it's kind of being lost now. Markstrom struggles. I'll give you full gamut, wherever you want to go. What's being lost because of what Connor McDavid is doing right now?
I say what Evander Kane is doing, man. What Evander Kane is doing. I remember breaking the news when he was signing with the Edmonton Oilers. Any team could have had him. Every team could have had him. He was available. I was speaking to people that were involved in the process, and I know for a fact that their general manager, Hall of Famer Kenny Holland, who's a native Albertan, Kenny Holland was saying all along they were in on him. And I have to tell this to the listener viewers. Connor McDavid himself was a part of the recruiting process, as was Alexander Ovechkin with Washington. But in the end, Connor McDavid was adamant with ownership, with management. This is a guy we need in our group. Well, you see how great Evander Kane's playing, how well he's fitting on that line with Connor McDavid. He's got speed, he has size, he has skill, he has touch, and he can punch your lights out if you have to, which is so important, especially given how good the Flames have played all season long and the nature of that Battle of Alberta. Evander Kane is auditioning. He's having a great postseason. He was great in the regular season. The situation with the San Jose Sharks in terms of the grievance filed, that's another matter that will be resolved in some time. But any team could have had him. And I give Kenny Holland and the Oilers ownership group, and Connor McDavid was a part of that recruiting, I give them aces across the board for being aggressive, for going out and getting the best player that was available. And he's helped transform their group under my man, Jay Woodcroft.
It's funny, like, you can look back at some, like, and listen, Ken Holland at the trade deadline was being raked over the coals. Now you can look back at some of the moves that there's Evander Kane, there is Cody Ceci, if you want to throw him into that, Tyson Barrie, and even the move to Woodcroft, going against what he has always done in his career. He's never fired someone mid-season, and he ended up going to Woodcroft. There's been a lot of things that kind of you look back with a little sober second thought, and Holland's coming out looking a little bit better.
Yeah, he is. And I remember some people, I have my weekly radio spot up in Edmonton with my man Bob Stauffer, right? One of the voices, I should say the voice of the Oilers, quite frankly, him and Jack Michaels. But in saying that, we were on a couple of weeks ago, we were down at our place in Miami, and I had a Panthers game for ESPN. And I remember saying, a playoff game against Washington with Florida. And I remember saying then, Duncan Keith is a nice piece. He doesn't have to be the two-time, three-time, whatever, Stanley Cup champ, three-time Cup champ, Norris Trophy winner. He doesn't have to be that right now. However, what he does have is he's one of the few people on planet Earth that have the recipe book, the big recipe book of what it takes to win Stanley Cups. He's won 3. So him being able to impart that wisdom on that group, I think it's been invaluable for them. Connor taking his game to a whole different level, invaluable for them. Evander Kane, we just talked about him. I love your point about Zach Hyman as well. And of course, Leon Draisaitl has been great even playing on one leg. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Having family that lives all across Alberta, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. The Battle of Alberta is hot. And the Flames, they haven't been on their A game yet, but this could very well go 7. This could very well go 7, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happened. The Oilers yesterday certainly had their DeVille coffee before the game. The Flames didn't have their DeVille coffee. I saw them walking in. They had some coffee. I don't know what it was. But the Flames weren't ready last night in Edmonton. Game 4 is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Jacob Markstrom is going to play this way for the rest of the series. I kind of buckling in right now for 7 here, and I would take all 7 of those in a hurry. I would also take Kevin Weeks on the show. Always appreciate when you drop by, homie.
Bro, great having me. Great joining you, rather. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime.
Hope all's well. Continue rocking back home, and thanks to all my family and friends that are tuning in back home, man. Thanks to the NHL.
Boys and girls, Kevin Weeks.
There was a tweet. Sportsnet said to watch a Stanley Cup playoff game with Steve Dangle. And someone said, why? He's an annoying clown. And I responded, no, I'm a good clown. I go to lots of parties. And I do. I do. I am a sought-after clown. I do all the birthday parties. Company parties, company Christmas parties, and big at those, bat mitzvahs. everything. If you need to hire a clown, I will be that for you. Speaking of clowns, clowning on the Calgary Flames is exactly what the Edmonton Oilers are doing. That is what we call, where my family's from, an ouf marron period. That is, wow. The Edmonton Oilers, with the exception of 2-3 shifts, dominating the Calgary Flames in the first period. Who cares what the shots were, the goals? 3-0. Oof. Markstrom with a misplay in the first minute, 1-0 Oilers. Toffoli takes a penalty. Hyman makes him pay, 2-0. And with about a minute to play in the third, after about 2 minutes of consistent offensive zone pressure, the Flames lose possession. Oilers turn it back up the other way. And Evander Kane scores. 3-0. So, Flames fans, I'm going to tell you what I told Oilers fans in game 1. And I was right, by the way. Click like. Because clicking like means goals. It has worked for every game I have called in these playoffs, except for game 7, but it was the Leafs, so great on a curve. It has worked. If your team needs a goal, you click like in the Watch the Stanley Cup playoff game with Steve Dangle chat, and your whole life will change. I'm telling you. You never know. Could be 3-3. 5 minutes into this period. You won't know if you don't click like. Oilers fans, you could go up 6-0 if you click like. Just know if another goal happens in this game, it will be because of your actions. Clicking like on this chat. We have some questions from the chat, speaking of. We got to Cashton's question. Milk bag. Oh, also Jesse's in the chat. Hi, Jesse. Milk bag. Have you looked at the Tampa cap-friendly page lately? No, because I don't want to. But just for you, and because it's intermission, I will humor you. Let's take a look. They still have their first rounder this year. That's annoying. But they don't in 2023 or 2024. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Almost everyone is under contract. That's unbelievable. So Andre Palat is a UFA. That's going to be hard. They have an RFA named Simone Rifors. Never heard of him. They have a bunch of other UFA forwards. They're all like league minimum guys. Except for Nick Paul, who is obviously a playoff rental for them. Unbelievable that guy's cap hit is. It's not even $750,000. It's $749,250. Explain that one. Jan Ruta's a free agent. Like, they're going to basically be able to run this team back. That's ridiculous. They're going to be able to run this team back basically in its entirety. The only difference is Braden Point gets his raise. He goes from 6.75 to 9.5, which isn't even that huge. So Tampa could three-peat this year. Oh, sorry. Oilers fans and Flames fans don't want to hear that. But in the Stanley Cup final, you might run into a team called the Tampa Bay Lightning who's going to be hungry for a three-peat. And who knows? We could be streaming next year talking about a four-peat. That's outrageous. God, that team is good. Ethan, where will Barry Trotz go? So Elliot has talked about this, and there are many destinations that would like to have Barry Trotz. I believe the Philadelphia Flyers were rumored to have interviewed him. There was a rumor going around the internet that Trotz was going to sign with the Winnipeg Jets today. And I had heard that rumor, was it Friday or Saturday? was a few days ago. So it was out there and it was going around, and Elliot suggested it. He called that premature, but I am willing to believe, and I know when I was in Winnipeg, a lot of people were talking about it, and a lot of people had their own stories about it, and I heard this and I heard that. Everyone there sure seems to think it's going to be Barry Trotz in Winnipeg. We'll see. Currency, who has the best chance against Tampa? Well, okay, we'll start with the Eastern Conference. So we got the Rangers or the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are a really good team, man. They're a really good team. No real weaknesses. But they looked like they were going to dominate the Rangers. They haven't. I saw a stat tonight. I can't believe that it's potentially true, where the Hurricanes are 6-0 at home, but 0-5 on the road. I'm sorry. You play Tampa, they're going to win one in your barn. So then you get the Rangers. Okay, well, they got some battering rams. They got some skill. They got a really good goalie. But then you're relying on out-goalying Andrei Vasilevsky. Oh, man. That's tough. And that's a banged-up Lightning team. It's going to be rested, too. But enough about that series. Back to the Battle of Alberta. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, and sit back and relax. And don't relax at all, because this series is ridiculous. Calgary down 3-0 to Edmonton. And Edmonton, the first to attack and the first to shoot. But Markstrom, the first to make a save. Man, for any Flames fans in the crowd, that had to be a long intermission. That was almost a neat play. Mangiapane was not there. Flames get it back, though. Backlund working it around. Flames at the point. Shillington. Stopped by the Oilers. Oilers trying to break it out. And they... not as smooth as they wanted, but it worked. Here come the Oilers. This is going to be a chance. Ooh. Markstrom stops it. Bouchard knows he was close. He knows he was close. Flames leading in shots. It sure feels like the Oilers are leading in chances, though. Who's got him? Who's got him? Like, you got to be fresh. You got to be focused. You're just coming out of the locker room. I got to say, there aren't many teams who do this in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, everyone, even the teams that lose, as the Flames ice the puck, even the Flames that lose are better versions of their regular season selves, right? Talked about this on my podcast today. Which teams in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs looked worse once the playoffs started than they did in the regular season? You could say Nashville. I think that's a bit unfair because they had UC Saros, who was unbelievable. And wow! Big hit at center ice. Causes a turnover. You could say UC Saros. The Florida Panthers, clearly the best offensive team in the NHL, and then they score 3 goals in 4 games. That's pretty bad. But even though the Flames won their first round series, it was in 7 games over Dallas. It was just way harder than I think most people thought it would be. And now they're on the verge of going down 3-1 to the Edmonton Oilers. I got to say, the Flames don't look nearly as good as they did in the regular season, as we got some rough stuff behind the net. Flames terrified to take a stupid penalty. And man, that's actually a really sharp save from Markstrom on McDavid. You know, McDavid has a reputation for being grumpy, looking grumpy. I mean, I've said it before. But man, that guy deals with stuff all the time. Flames trying to work him with the words. I just can't imagine what you would ever say to Connor McDavid that he hasn't heard before.
Here's Tyson Berry shooting wide, and Fogle unable to redirect that. Along the boards, Dubé pinned.
Oilers.
Dug out by Edmonton. Yamamoto.
Squirt it loose.
At the line. Here's McLeod trying to get
Loose
in
puck
front, gets
near
it
the net.
done, and
Oilers, they keep it alive, but they lose it in the Flames.
for Calgary.
Again, they're having a really hard time carrying the puck out of their own zone.
A tough end to the
Here's
regular
Toffoli. He's got to have a
season.
better period.
Time this morning.
He took that one penalty, and then he was virtually invisible.
Oh, what a goal from this line would do to spark the Calgary Flames too. Times it's not just, you know, getting the goal, it's getting it from.
Oilers have done a really good job surviving Calgary in the offensive zone. Like, Calgary has done a good job getting offensive zone time. It's getting offensive zone time in dangerous spots. And the Oilers just haven't let them do it. And when they attack with such ferocious speed. And Calgary just doesn't seem to have an answer for it. But here they come. Again, nothing doing. Oilers turn it up the other way. Cassian's going to get a breakaway. And, oh, that was a nifty little move, but stopped by Markstrom. Oilers hang on to it, and here's Cassian again. How do you forget he exists? The guy just had a breakaway. Is that not a pick? Is that not interference there? No, we don't call those. Well, sometimes we do. Here comes McDavid. 1-on-2. And it almost works. What are you looking at the ref for? You got Connor McDavid on you, bud.
Tried to give Michael Stone a little boost with the stick, and it
Oh,
ended
the
up
Flames
knocking him
are utterly off their game. Utterly off their game.
And that allowed Cassian to go in uncontested.
They got to erase a 3-goal deficit here, and it's hard to imagine it happening the way they're playing. McDavid buzzing around. So fun to watch. Nurse drops it for Kane. CC on block.
Back pressure there, but able to work it ahead. Tyler Toffoli trying to speed onto it.
Again, like, Oilers just neutralizing the Flames' attack. Flames get it at the point. They float it on. And if there's no screen and no deflection, it's just a floater from the point. Here's another look at that Cassian breakaway. I think he tries to do the Forsberg, man. He does! Is it the Forsberg or the Datsyuk? It's hard to tell because he's right-handed. No, that's the Forsberg. He tried to do the tuck a little bit. You know what? I admire it. Flames, offensive zone draw.
Elias Lindholm on the draw. Gaudreau tried to send it back to the point, but Zach Hyman was there.
They win the faceoff but lose the zone, which I think should count as a lost faceoff because they didn't mean to. Flames just cannot cross the offensive blue line with any kind of speed.
Watched by Nugent Hopkins. Matthew Tkachuk.
They do get in.
301 regular season points.
We'll see if they can do anything with it here. Whack! Wide. Whack! Stop.
Laid wide of the cage, and now it's Gaudreau.
Oilers keeping the Flames to the perimeter. And just trying to clog up the front of the net. Oh! Oh! A lot of defenders are going to have green light in this period. And another attack that doesn't work. Here come the Oilers. Hyman getting it deep.
That's a shift for that Calgary line.
Hannafin gives it to Gaudreau.
Haven't seen those battles in front that often. They haven't had the offensive
out there with Toffoli. Toffoli working it around. Flames owning those boards, but man, Edmonton's doing such a crisp job of shutting down the Flames and countering. There it is again, just like clockwork. Duncan Keith that time. They get it out. They get an opportunity with speed. Well, that one was a line change, a little different. The Flames looking to turn it up quick because they know they got the Oilers' fourth line, but oh, geez. Again, I think a lot of us were underestimating the Edmonton Oilers heading into these playoffs. Jay Woodcroft has them playing totally different. Totally different.
Shillington can't reach that. It's icing waved as
Bay-bladed around. If I was Markstrom, I wouldn't be leaving the net for the rest of the night. That's an okay play, though.
Blake Coleman through center.
Come the Flames again, slowing down at that offensive blue line. Mike Smith, not the greatest choice, but he gets it out. Awkward line change for the Flames causes them to lose the puck. And a scoring chance for the Oilers. McDavid, almost, but he keeps it alive. Shifty. It seems like he's always got two guys on him. You got best player in the world behind you. Yeah, there you go.
Leon Draisaitl with his 4th consecutive multi-assist game.
Draisaitl coming in. Keep a close eye on him, as the refs have a closer eye on him tonight. The Flames attacking his ankle in Game 3.
Around it goes Bouchard trying to shovel it past Lucic. Evander Kane missed that behind the net, but
Oilers working it around now. Keith gets it deep to Connor. Connor out in front, blast! Wide. Keith. Over to Kane. Draisaitl.
Bouchard moves up. Duncan Keith finds McDavid.
God, Connor's got the fastest hands in the world. You can always tell when he has the puck. You don't need to see a number, name, nothing. You just see a navy blur. Tried to get it through to Draisaitl. I thought he was going to take it himself.
An extended shift there for the Oilers top line.
And the Flames have surrendered the puck to the Oilers way too many times in this game. Just chip it in. Yeah, there you go.
Plays it to the near side. Nugent Hopkins after it, but Johnny Gaudreau there for the Flames.
And then when they give it to him, they haven't done a good enough job getting it back. Oh, is that going to be a penalty now? Here come the Flames. Gaudreau rips it. Ooh, that looked like it had a chance. And that will be a tripping call on the Oilers, and whoops-a-daisy.
And it will be touched by Hyman. And the Flames will get
Zach Hyman
their first power
is going to be
play
going to the
tonight.
box
Zach Hyman
for tripping Elias Lindholm. Yeah, gets his stick right under his skate blades. And he knows right away that's a tough one to call. Or it's a tough one to take. Now the Oilers have to defend a Calgary power play. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I believe we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with second period action. Look at that. I don't see the countdown clock, though. Oh. Oh, hey. How you doing? You didn't hear that. Yeah, you didn't hear that. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. Who's that? Oh, it's me. I'm Steve Dangle. Whoa! Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends.
Back to Hannafin.
Calgary Flames have begun a power play to try to get on the board and get into this game. Lindholm puts it on. Can't get it in. And, oh, Yamamoto can't clear. Flames will hold the zone. That was impressive.
Back to Hannafin now.
Flames hold it. Lindholm's been buzzing. He's having a bit of a better period there. Attempt for a one-timer. What a keep from Hannafin. Gaudreau works it over. Oh, man, the Oilers have had two golden opportunities to ice the puck here, and it hasn't worked. 50 seconds gone. Lindholm shoots and scores. Honestly, honest to goodness, that's all the work on the Calgary Flames holding the puck in at the blue line. It's those little things that are going to get them back into this game, and that goal gets them back into this game. Their first goal of the game. They have life. That lead is now 2. Now you work on making it 1. Can't believe the Oilers weren't able to clear the zone. A little screen on Mike Smith. Loses it for a second, and Lindholm takes advantage. There's one. There's one in what has been a very lopsided Battle of Alberta so far tonight. And here come the Flames again. Really didn't like their start to the second, but it's getting better and better as we play on. Here's Backlund. You get the feeling this could potentially change in a hurry. But you're not always going to get a power play. At some point, you're going to have to score in the Oilers 5-on-5. Whoa, big missed hit. Here come the Flames. They're attacking with numbers. Backlund sneaks in, and it gets behind him, and there it is. What did I say? And just like that, what was once a 3-0 Edmonton lead, it's now a 1-goal game in the Sea of Red. Looking for a little Red Dead redemption. Backlund just smokes Duncan Keith and beats Mike Smith with a great shot. And just like that, here come the Flames. 3-2. More than half a game to play. Yeah. The Battle of Alberta is at long last a battle tonight.
Game 4 against the Stars, so 2 in 36 seconds has changed the complexion of this game.
The Oilers have done such a good job of preventing the Calgary Flames from entering their zone with speed. The Flames finally find a way to attack with speed. It leads to a drawn penalty call. They make a couple fantastic plays at the blue line. That leads to a power play goal. Again, they use their speed, find a way around the Oilers' defense. You can't be getting stymied at the blue line every time. And the Flames have busted through and found a way. We got ourselves a hockey game, folks. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. Watch the Battle of Alberta with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. And Flames fans, was I right or was I absolutely right when I said clicking like leads to goals? Oilers fans, I gave you the opportunity. I said if you click like, you could go up 6-0. You didn't click like. Where are you? Look at you. Look at you now. There's a 3-goal lead, and now it's 1. Flames fans listened. I suggest you do it as well. Get yourself a pair of big old headphones. It's actually nice because this basement is kind of cold, and it helps me stay warm. Questions from the chat. It's been difficult to get to because there have been a lot of goals recently. Lucas, you asked this question when it was still 3-0. But if you were an Oilers fan, would you worry about Mike Smith? I would worry about him being locked up to next year, given that he's 40 already. That's a problem. But in the context of these playoffs, Here's what I would say, when it comes to the goalie. It's too late for that. Worrying about your goaltender is a regular season problem. And if it's not solved by the trade deadline, then I'm not sure what you do. If you're the Oilers, I know what you do. You go to Mikko Koskinen. Like, let's say Mike Smith is abysmal and, Jay Woodcroft decides to go to a different goalie for Game 5, right? You go to Koskinen. Well, if that doesn't work, then you got one final option, and that's Stuart Skinner. I almost called him Jeff. That's Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner, who, towards the end of the season, I saw a lot of Oilers fans were saying he should be the starter. So the Oilers have options, right? But to me, like, should I worry about my team's starting goaltender? That's a regular season problem. Here come the Flames with speed. Told you, they're finding ways, but here come the Oilers on the counterattack. One thing the Flames can't do is give up numbers, and they do here, and Markstrom gives them a save. Which, if they're going to play this style, he's going to have to do. That was a great outlet pass to Hyman. That's a good attack from the Oilers. I thought they could have maybe worked it around a little bit more. Barry with the shot hits him right in the logo. That's not good enough for an opportunity that golden. 3 points in 10 games in these playoffs. It's just not enough for an offensive D-man like Tyson Barrie. As a Leaf fan, it's unreal to me that the Oilers saw the 1920 Toronto Maple Leafs and said, you know what, we'll take 2/3 of that right side, please. And then it worked. And now they're in the second round. If the game ends right now, they'll take a 3-1 series lead. Good on them. Zach Hyman, too. Oilers looking dangerous. Flames disrupt it. Get it out. Oilers picked this one off, though, and what do we got here? What do we got here? We got a whistle. I didn't hear the whistle.
Download the BetMGM apps today and tap into the non-stop action in casino and sports.
More questions. Would you say this is a tougher game? Oh yeah, what do we got here? Is Kane is that a slash? Sure is. Would I say this is a tougher game? I'm not totally sure what you mean by that. This to me is hockey tough. Like, it's not battleground tough, constant, fighting after the whistle and everything. Like, these guys are exhausted. It's been breakneck speed the whole night. So, to me, that's tough. It's tough to have a game 4 like this and imagine it going 7. You know what I mean? How tired are you going to be in a week's time? Flames gain the zone here on the power play. They got an opportunity to tie it as I ramble on. Not a great setup from the Flames. Oilers will clear it. 30 seconds gone in this Calgary power play with a chance to tie it. It was 3-0 just a couple of minutes ago. Tyler Toffoli gets it deep. Flames stay onside. Lindholm. Oh, and we got a 2-on-1 for the Oilers here. We got a 2-on-1. Oh, boy. Oh! Markstrom with a stop on Gaudreau, who feeds Tkachuk for the... won't quite be a breakaway. He gets Cody Ceci to stop up. And the Flames gain the zone, and they now have a little bit of structure here. Anderson biding his time. God, I love the drama of this game. Deflection off Derek Ryan. Oilers have got some fresh bodies and they clear the zone. Over 30 seconds to go here still on this Flames power play. Mike Smith out of the net. Doesn't quite get it. Oilers hold the line. Flames hold the line, sorry. 20 seconds to go as the Oilers clear it. Markstrom out of his net. Is that? We just pretend the trapezoid doesn't exist anymore. Anderson gains the zone for the Flames. Probably not going to get a PPG here, but you can at least cause some ruckus. Whoa, that was close. Flames hold it in. Flames still have a good opportunity here. Backlund with the puck behind the net.
Michael Backlund looking for an available stick. Mangiapane tied up.
Oh, Oilers come up with it. Oilers survive on that penalty kill, and now it's time to thrive. Duncan Keith gets it in. McDavid. Oh, Markstrom way out of his net. Oilers can't get the puck. Flames clear the zone.
I think he had to be worried about Draisaitl shooting it from a tough angle.
And they clear the puck out of trouble, but they turn it over.
From a different angle.
Fortunate bounce there at the Flames blue line for the Flames. Unfortunate for the Oilers. Tanev finally back in this series. He helps break it out. Lewis gets it in deep. Barry says, that's nice. Oilers get it out. Chip it in deep. This has been the Oilers' bread and butter all night. Oh, Barry can't hold the puck at the blue line. You got a mishmash there in the neutral zone. Flames get it in deep, but that'll go into the netting. What a game. What a game. Oh. Johnny Gaudreau almost scoring on his own net and then feeding Matthew Tkachuk for what was almost a breakaway. So close. I can't believe Derek Ryan didn't pass it sooner. He had a wide open lane there. That's wild. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Harry, what's your favorite goalie mask design of all time? Give me a sec. Here you go. This isn't like the authentic Felix Potvin design. He didn't quite have this. I mean, I don't think he had a picture of himself. This is signed, though. I was given this as a gift. Someone, so I raised money for a charity called Easter Seals Ontario. It helps out kids with physical disabilities. I'm not sure if they're active out in Alberta, but someone donated $13,000 to Easter Seals and then also gifted me this mask because they're an angel, I think, because that's like the sort of thing an angel would do. Love the Felix the Cat Potvin mask. Like, Brodeur's got an iconic mask. I was never a huge fan of it. We have a Mika Kiprusoff mask in the Sportsnet digital studio. That thing's sick. Oilers fans and Leafs fans can agree on Cujo, Curtis Joseph's mask. That's pretty great. Ed Belfour with the iconic Eagles. You know who had a really good mask, but he just wasn't very good? That's the Toskala. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it was a shark skull. It was really cool. Actually, Oilers fans will like this. It was when he was like backup for the Sharks. But he had like a digital.
Scott, but I believe I've got the winning ticket in my pocket.
Or it was like an 8-bit Sharks logo on his mask. It was Alex Stalock. I took a picture of it and tweeted it. This was years ago, though. It's like 2016. Here come the Oilers. With speed. Hyman having himself a series. Working it around. Throws it on. Nuge comes up with it. Here come the Oilers again. Man, Markstrom's just all over the place. He doesn't look comfortable at all.
And lost the puck, and the Flames will get it at center. Backlund too far on that pass.
Uh-oh.
Intended for Shillington, will head off.
How's that? How's that just nothing?
Remaining in the second period.
I didn't see who the Oiler was, but he just stole that man's stick. How's that nothing? That's just nothing? That happened by accident? That was an accident. Are you serious?
Fourth line shift for
Sure,
Edmonton
why not?
as Derek Ryan comes out with
Oilers looking to cause pressure. Doesn't quite work out. Yarncroke breaks it out. Oh, in the slot. High and wide. The Flames are a shot away right now. After being just a chasm away mere minutes ago. Oilers with a chance to regain a multi-goal lead, and they don't. Markstrom will cover it up. God's door, that's huge. Cassian getting acquainted, making friends. I think it was Tyler Toffoli who had that chance that just went high and wide. Be funny if he tied it up after the discussion we had right off the top of the show. Oh, Archibald just can't get a handle on that puck, and if he does, maybe he tucks it in. Markstrom knows he's a bit fortunate. Oilers with the big line on the ice for the ozone draw. But the Flames break it out. Oh, what the hell happened there? That was a classic no-look pass when the guy you're passing to is not looking. What the heck happened there? All right. Flames are lucky that didn't turn into something more dangerous for the Oilers. Gaudreau to Lindholm. Oh, this could be something for the Flames here. Oilers break it up, but the Flames hold the line. Tanev, deep. Draisaitl in front of the net with that big paddle of a stick, trying to cut off passes. Oh! Oh, Tkachuk has the game-tying goal on his stick and a wide-open net. How did he miss that? Oh, I got to see a replay of that. Bad. There was McDavid trying to pass it to himself, which is just unreal. Oh, Tkachuk knows, man. He had a wide-open net. Leads the Flames with 3 goals this series, which might explain why the Flames are losing the series, because all 3 of those goals came in Game 1. Goal scorers from Game 2 and 3, not a lot.
I was just shocked that he didn't go after him after he's made all-star guys look a little bit uncomfortable.
The Oilers are relying a little too much on the counterattack here. Like they're just sort of trying to rope-a-dope the Flames a little bit. It has almost worked. I just don't like it as a long-term strategy. I tried to gargle. Stealthily. It didn't work. Markstrom gobbles it up. Listen, you stream for 3 hours, all right? Shut up. Shillington. Oh, he coughed it up. That was a bad one.
McLeod just tried to buy himself a little time, wait till he got some support.
And that's the second time this period. The Oilers have had a really dangerous-looking opportunity that just sort of ended with a shot to the logo of Markstrom. This goalie's been shaky all series long. You gotta test him. Toffoli using his speed. Good play, and here come the Flames. Mangiapane works it to the point.
That's off Pugliarvi, and in behind the net is Backlund, who kick-started this Calgary comeback.
Oh, Tanev loses it.
Over the stick of Tanev.
Gets it before Hyman can steal it.
Deposits it back into Edmonton ice.
Flames with the puck in deep. What happened there? We got a penalty? Or was Mangiapane offside? I thought he was offside when he entered the zone.
Check out the Players Own Voice podcast for binge-worthy sports content and stories that move you. Available now on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcast.
Man, what a game.
The simplicity of the messaging from Daryl Sutter always is. He was asked today about, what do you need? He goes, well,
those guys behind the Flames bench have to be exhausted.
Has been more like the kind of road
you know what?
That you've seen from this Calgary team. They've had
You're doing work.
Zone time, capitalized on their power
You're
play.
trying to get into the Flames' heads from behind the bench.
There's been a lot more time cycling in the offensive zone, something that they have.
You're making it easier for the Oilers to win. I think you should get a cup ring. I do.
Game plan thrown askew early on a goal 21 seconds in and a 3-goal first period for the home side, but
Cassian working hard in the corner.
Lindholm and Backlund with goals here in the second. Rasmus Anderson.
The Flames have definitely had the lion's share of possession in the second period. No doubt about that.
Swings it back out at center. Archibald able to get,
but after giving up 2 goals in quick succession, the Oilers have calmed this game down a little bit. With a minute and 11 seconds to go in the second.
Give those guys an opportunity to maybe give the top guys a bit of a rest.
Now you got to be careful here.
Something that you always have to wager as a,
because last period, did I not say, all right,
we lost a little bit of our spark, and sometimes it
Flames just got to get one before the end of the period, and then we got a game. And then there was a goal with about a minute to go. It was Edmonton's. Made it 3-0, and this game looked over.
So the big lines out against each other here in the final minute.
Now we got ourselves a hockey game, folks. Flames top line out there. Under a minute to go here in the second period. Turnover. Oilers break it out. Flames take control of it again. Flames whip it down the ice. Mike Smith will play that. Boy, he's very dangerous. 30 seconds to go here.
One more shift for Mangiapane. Blake Coleman.
Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Because the Flames had an opportunity. And we got a slash.
Stick snapped in half to make that call pretty academic.
Is it Nurse going off?
The aggressive play by Coleman going hard to the
I saw a broken stick on the ice. I thought it was. Oh, yeah. I mean, but then where'd he get that stick?
Is to give the whack, and when your stick disintegrates like that, kind of hard to get away with it.
Did Nurse break his own stick and get called?
Lazy route there. Probably nothing would have happened, but he went right to the front of the net, forced Nurse to worry for a second that Mangiapane might get the puck out in front, and now you got another power play.
Well, that is a tough one for the Oilers to take.
1 for 2.
Only 17 seconds to go here in this period. So you just go into survival mode. You do whatever you got to do. Hyman clears it. That'll basically do it.
Here in the second. See if they can hustle.
Flames will charge up the ice one more time. Just gain the zone and shoot. It's not going to work. But the Calgary Flames, who looked down and out, have made it a 1-goal game here in the Battle of Alberta. Lindholm was first. Backlund was second. And in the third period, when we return, will the Oilers hold on, win this game and take a 3-1 series lead, or will Calgary complete the comeback and tie this series up at 2? Watch a Leafs game. No! No! I almost made it! No! Shoot! I'm so upset. I did it so many times in game 1, and I haven't done it yet tonight, and I friggin' did it, and I'm so upset. Watch a Stanley Cup playoff game. Leafs are not playing in those anymore. Watch a Stanley Cup playoff game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle, unfortunately. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm so upset. Second intermission entertainment. We have Kipper and Bourne. They have never screwed up the names of the teams that they are watching. Kipper and Bourne talked to Kevin Lowe about Connor McDavid. Now, Connor McDavid is a player that I'm sure many of you haven't heard of, but you'll know a little bit more about him after you listen to this.
Kevin, one of the things I'm seeing people say, and by seeing people say, I mean I have said as well, is that Connor McDavid is the best player to have ever lived. And I understand that Wayne Gretzky exists and had a better career, and McDavid have to play forever and do so much more to ever catch up to him. But just raw speed, skill, talent, ability. You've seen both these guys up close and personal. Can you give us your thoughts on what Connor McDavid is right now in NHL greatness?
Well, he's a treat to watch, Justin, and that goes without saying. Again, a tough comparison. But I would say this. I'll talk about Connor in a second, but relative to Wayne, I mean, the big difference now is 24-hour news and sports coverage and social media.
Right.
So all the stuff that Wayne was doing on a Sunday night in Los Angeles, when the rest of, when all of Canada or the Eastern Canada and the Eastern United States were sleeping, that would have been, all world stuff, never got seen. So it's hard to compare the two. But having said that, Connor reminds me of Michael Jordan, of, how unbelievable he was. And the Bulls were a great team. But, I mean, Jordan was just worth the price of admission. And I won't say that Wayne wasn't, because he certainly filled a lot of buildings. But it just seems that the off factor with Connor, because of he's bigger than Wayne, and Wayne was subtly flashy, whereas Connor has this, the incredible speed, et cetera, et cetera. So it's great for hockey. Obviously, it's great for Edmonton and Alberta, but really good for the NHL that they have a bona fide must-see TV type of athlete playing in the league.
It was interesting, Lozy, to hear Matthew Tkachuk saying we're getting beat by one guy, and it's probably a theme that you had heard in your heyday with Wayne in Edmonton, and now I'm just wondering if Calgary going in tonight, like what kind of looks did Wayne have when teams had that mentality? And what kind of looks can you compare that to Connor will look at moving forward here? Because they are similar in that perception, aren't they?
Yes. So, Wayne, first off, there were teams that actually put a shadow on him. Steve Casper comes to mind when he played for the Bruins. Certainly Esa Tikin when Wayne went to Los Angeles and the Oilers played, John Muckler assigned Tikkanen to essentially shadow Wayne throughout the game. And Tikkanen is annoying as it is, let alone following around the ice. So can you imagine the Flames assigning, who would be capable? I don't think Tkachuk could do it because I don't think he's fast enough. But if they did have a player, it's really disruptive to the game, I think. And it's a different game now defending because, players are much more aware of defensive responsibilities than they were in our day. And, in other words, there's not very many odd man rushes, et cetera, because people are back. But I think, I was listening to Tim Hunter this morning talk about it. He coaches in the Western Hockey League. And, the Flames did, I think the fact that they made a lot of obvious errors as it is. I mean, let's not discount how good Connor is, but they made mistakes that allowed for Connor to have more skating. So I suspect that that's not going to happen tonight. So it's going to be a little tougher on him. But long gone are the days when they, could come out and try to bully him or hook and hold him or, slow down the game as they did, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s because, the rules have changed and you can't do that.
So how do you assess the rest of the play of the Oilers? It feels like, we've talked primarily about Connor, and I think justifiably so, but, they're up 2 games to 1, and I think you don't get to that position without some contributions all the way around. What have you thought of the non-McDavid Oilers to date?
Well, the team, Justin, they finally figured out how to play in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, this is a completely different team from the LA series. I mean, we might have saw glimpses of this team in games 6 and 7. But they are now, it looks like, and whether it's, and I credit Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson for a lot of this, but they have anybody who's been successful and played in the playoffs, they know what it's like to play in the playoffs, what you have to do. You have to become almost a different player. And, look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, for instance. You got Stamkos blocking shots. I don't think he blocks a lot of shots during the regular season, but he's throwing his body all over the place. That's what you have to do. The Oilers weren't doing that previously. But, I look at a kid like Yamamoto. He's a $150 or 55 pounds and stuff. And, he's taking runs at Zadorov. And I'm sure the Flames will want to kill him next regular season. But he's just given it everything he has to make a difference for the Oilers. And I think, Duncan Keith has settled in and is playing comfortable. And, although he's 39, is really providing a lot of leadership for us. Vander Kane's been all world. What you see is what we've pretty much had ever since he walked into the Oilers dressing room door. And then, Leon, that line is wonderful. But, I like the balance of the team. I like, that we have a little bit of everything, but they have to play with that passion that you've seen in the last number of games.
So, let's just kind of segue into the Mark Giordano signing, which how can anybody not say that this wasn't a smart signing, a good signing? $800,000. I think Elliot Friedman said that the original offer by the Leafs was $1 million, and Gio went back to them and said, "No, give me $8 million, and we'll save $200,000 to go spend somewhere else."
That's
straight out of the Jason Spezza playbook.
If I could take less, I would, literally. So let's just get to your take on this, which makes me crazy.
It's the take that I've had. It's the take that many of them have, that first and foremost,
yes,
he is in a position where money doesn't matter. So the first checkbox is, how is this for my family? And that was the number one reason why he's not contemplating going anywhere else for maybe $1.5 million or $2 million on a 1-year deal. We think he could have gotten double.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
played 20 minutes a game for the Leafs very handily.
This is always the case when you've got hockey players at the end of their careers that are just looking for a big picture. And then somewhere in there is, it'd be great if we won too.
See, you have projected that onto them. I don't think that anyone has said that his priorities are comfortable housing and being near his family and wearing the blue and white. Like, if you're looking at places in the NHL that give you a chance to win a Stanley Cup, I would say there's 6 to 8 teams that have a chance. And you don't really know how it's going to go. You just got to get on one of those 6 to 8 teams.
Roll the dice.
This is one of them.
Roll the dice. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I do think that they're going to contend next year, and they're going to be in a position where if we're going to look at 32 teams and we wanted to say 6 or 8, it may have a chance to win a Stanley Cup. You will put Toronto in there.
You would. And so if you're Giordano, you take less money, you give the team more money to spend, you give yourself a better chance to win a cup.
And you get to be very comfortable in your city.
Yes.
With your family.
And to your point, if it doesn't work out, you still got to be in Toronto and it was a comfortable year and all that.
I've lived it. I know.
Yeah.
Like he can do whatever he wants after. He'll be in a position of Jason Spezza status where
he'll probably make that money back too that he gave back in Toronto, connections, whatever he does after, right?
Oh God, that's just so $60 million his career.
Yeah,
I don't think he has to worry about, I know a guy. I know an electrician. You got an electrician? Yeah, I know a guy. Yeah. Oh, you just pay him under the table.
Get a free shawarma at Osmos.
Give him $100 and you'll be fine. Okay, thanks.
I will say, after years of making, how much has he been making? 6 something? After years of that, the first direct deposit hit on that $800K contract was probably going to be a bit of a shocker.
Yeah. No? And to be clear, I know plenty of people in the NHL who've made a lot of money who still care about money. I don't know that everyone gets to be like, well, I'm doing pretty good. Some people want to do a lot good.
I'm happy he's back. I
am, except for the complication of the puzzle, which we need to talk about.
The only thing that bothers me is other people taking laps like it's some amazing signing, which I've seen a lot of. Like it's a depth signing.
When he got traded here, people were ripping on me because I said that he's a 5th or 6th defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had Kyle on a show, and I said, do you think he can play top 4 minutes? And he said he's been doing it his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
But do we see this signing as a guy that can play top 4 next year for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I will say that
I would hope not.
year of aging is different from 27 to 28 than 38 to 39. Like, it's a big year. I expect a drop off.
Really?
I do. I think he's going to be not as good as he was this past season a year from now.
I'll say that in a perfect world, he probably should only play between 55 and 65 games.
In playoffs, he might be your 7. I mean, if you're looking at $800K,
Yeah, it's a depth
Right?
signing at that number.
At $800K, you go on the UFA market and try to find a guy who can do what Giordano can do. He ain't going to find it. It's not out there.
I would hope that this contract is played out like Simmons, where if you have to bury it, you bury it. He doesn't even see next year.
Yeah.
If it's over, it's over.
I think that's part of the way these contracts
So
work.
this is really a 1-year deal with maybe an $800,000 thank you buyout. Thanks for your time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I look at the way the contract is. What I can't get past is just looking at the decor and the pairs and what now. So you're going to have you'll have Riley and I don't know if we don't want to do the whole pairs, but look at the left side.
Listen, okay, let's start with Gio.
Yeah.
I see him at a 5 and 6 with Liljegren. That's your third pair.
But here's the problem. Rasmus Sandin exists. So you've got Muzzin and Riley and Gio and Sandin and Brody. So Brody can play the right side. But you've got Muzzin, Riley, Gio, and Sandin. You're going to keep Sandin in the press box? No.
Look at that. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Me and everyone behind the scenes just got done crying, laughing, because someone clipped when I thought I was off air, but I wasn't. And I said, look at that. And that's all there is. Just a 7-second clip, and it made us all laugh very hard. If you're a Flames or Oilers fan, are you laughing? How you feeling? Where's the pitter patter? Where's the heart at? Where's your heart rate? Let me get a live feed of you hooked up to a heart rate monitor like I was in the first round. Here's what happened. 30 seconds into the game, approximately, Oilers apply pressure. Jake Markstrom leaves the net. He says, I'm going to help. And then he super doesn't, gives it away. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes him pay. 1-0 Oilers, just like that. Later in the period, Tyler Toffoli takes a penalty. About halfway through the period, Tyler Toffoli takes a penalty. Oilers go to the power play. Guess what? Zach Hyman banging it in. Just like that. 2-0 Oilers. I say something silly to the effect of, hey, Flames are actually playing better as the first period goes. We're playing better in the final 5 minutes here. If they can get one before we go to intermission, then maybe they'll have some life. And guess what? Puck goes the other way. And Evander Kane puts it in to give the Oilers a 3-0 lead at intermission. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, the Flames got to hit the drawing board. They got to figure this out. And when the second period begins, you could tell the Flames had more of the puck than they did in the first, a little bit more danger than they did in the first, but ultimately the Oilers were still getting the better chances. They were. And it wasn't until they get a power play of their own. Lindholm. Snipage. Oh. Look at that. They're on the board. But what did I say? I said something cheeky to the effect of, okay, it's one thing to get one on the power play. Now you got to do it 5-on-5. Michael Backlund says, bet. Charges in, right past Duncan Keith. Drives to the net. Beats Mike Smith. And we got ourselves a hockey game, folks. That's where we are right now. Calgary Flames within 1. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Oilers still lead 3-2. But there's a catch. The Flames begin the third period with almost a full power play. Darnell Nurse takes a slashing penalty at the end of the second. Oilers manage to kill off 17 seconds as they try to get to the end of the period. And they do. And now the Flames will have about $1.40 to work. I say about because I don't feel like doing the math. I know it's $1.43. I didn't feel like doing it. $1.43. And then a whole period after that. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. And we're about to drop the puck. When we get a lull in the action, I'll get to some of your questions. But I don't think we're going to have many lulls this period. Flames, Oilers. Third period of Game 4. Oilers win this game. They take a 3-1 series lead. Flames looking to tie it up in the series and in this game. They can't do one without the other. Oilers get it deep. Chuck breaks in, drops it. Gaudreau with it. Whoa, throws it in front for a weird one, and it almost works. I think that might have hit Kachuk in the face. Oilers trying to leave the zone. Flames not making it easy on them. Oh, and it squirts loose into open ice. Under a minute to go in this Flames power play.
Gets it back. And now up top for Hannafin. And
Gaudreau. In front. Oh, Mike Smith gets across for it. Lindholm looking skyward. That was probably the Flames' best chance to tie it so far. Oh, baby. Foley can't get the puck through. Keith clears it. Gaudreau. Oh, that's a wonderful pass to Lindholm. Mike Smith doesn't give him a ton to shoot at. It looked like Lindholm kind of already had his mind made up where he was going to shoot that. If he took a moment, he might have seen that he had other options. Behind the Oilers' net, they'll look to clear, and they do. 30 seconds to go here in this Flames power play. That's time, just not a lot of it. Backlund in front. Boy, the Flames have actually done a pretty good job generating dangerous-looking scoring chances. Problem being, the Oilers tend to clear it quickly. Backlund looks to get it deep. Cody Ceci maybe gets away with one. They're not calling that, though. Oilers kill this one off. And now it's McDavid with it. That's a huge kill, the biggest kill of this series so far. And McDavid has his dancing shoes on. Oh, my God. Brings it in at full speed, gets a scoring chance. Sails it just wide.
His goal now.
And Markstrom.
The difference in this game.
That's got to be a tough place to be. He might be the most important person involved in this Flames comeback. Mike Smith challenging. Ultimately, Markstrom's not going to be the one to score the tying goal if the Flames do tie it. But he just can't give up the fourth. Because you look at it right now, Flames out shooting the Oilers 24-16. That's 3 goals against on 16 shots. It's not going to win you a lot of games. Flames taking away time and putting pressure on the Oilers as they get called for a hand pass. Mangiapane just said a bad word. I can read lips. That was Backlund into Mangiapane. Keeps it along the ice. Could have got a tip. Doesn't quite work. And here's McDavid. What's the speed reach? Yeah, I don't believe that. I think he was faster than that. I haven't done the exact math in a long time, but I'm pretty sure McDavid there. The winner of the 100-meter dash in the Olympics generally hits around 40 kilometers an hour. High 30s. So McDavid can skate with not a lot of runway about as fast as Usain Bolt can run at top speed. It's ridiculous. That's a quick Google. I'm pretty sure it's high 30s or early 40s for Usain Bolt. Oilers denying the Flames at the blue line, which they did such a good job of in the first period. And if Jay Woodcroft can get the Oilers back to that in the third, this will be an easy win for them. Foley with a hit. Flames going back up the other way. Shillington entering with speed. Fires it on Mike Smith. Shillington was about the only Flame I liked in the first period. And he almost ties it up there. Flames getting a line change in there. Blake Coleman just sails it in deep. Flames have been too quick to just give the puck back to the Oilers. But what the Oilers did so well in the first was they turned those little instances into offense. And in the second period, that kind of dried up. Flames doing a much better job breaking out of their own zone. That wasn't the best example. You'll have to take my word on it. Oh, turnover behind the Flames net. And here's the Oilers with a little ozone possession. They haven't had much of that lately, but they turn it over. Flames with no numbers, so they'll just get it deep. Keith hammered behind the net. Oilers get it out, though. Can't control it. Here comes Draisaitl. Oh, Tanev all alone. Kane with it. Turns back to Connor McDavid. Always a good idea. McDavid stripped by Yarncroke. And the Flames turn it back up the other way. Oh, that's a neat pass. Oh, it doesn't quite work. As Tkachuk gets it deep. I like the idea there. Cody Ceci chips it out. Puljujarvi can't quite get a hold of it.
So now Lucic riding shotgun with Lindholm and Tkachuk. And it's through to
Tkachuk. In deep to Lucic. Oh, boy, him tying the game would be a hell of a story after last game.
Puljujarvi there to block that, and Hyman's out. Hyman trying to shoot.
I disagree if you cheer for the Oilers. Here comes Zach Hyman. What a rush! But he loses the puck and avoids Markstrom.
That would have been contact and would have been a penalty. He realized he was in a dangerous spot and did an excellent job of not taking a penalty there.
But, ooh, almost a giveaway behind the Flames net from Zadorov. But they'll break it out. Oh, miscommunication there. Pass during a change. Cassian can't take advantage as the Flames will break it out. How are we feeling, Oilers fans? Flames have had the puck for most of the period. I don't know if I like that very much.
down into
Oilers
Calgary territory.
starting to counter a little bit over the last couple of minutes.
Here's Shillington ahead. Yamamoto got a stick
Shillington
on that and
chips
turns
it out.
back. Fogle hustling in against
Oilers
Tanev.
swat it down.
Got a piece of Tanev who goes down. Around it comes
They're going to need a little bit more neutral zone defense like that.
7 career playoff goals for Warren Fogle. 5
Because the Flames have
in his
spent
rookie
far
year
too
as a
much
member
time
of Carolina.
in the Oilers zone for my liking, if I'm an Oilers fan.
Dubé flipping it out
There's
over
that
the right
terrifying
side
mascot,
towards
by the way.
Foley.
What's its name again? Nightmare?
And clubbed down by Smith. Bouchard up. McLeod works it to the right side.
I don't actually want to know the name. I want to forget he exists. It's terrifying.
With the Vander Keen on the forecheck. McDavid after it. Tried to play it past Kachuk, but Anderson able to work.
Harvey the Hound is terrifying in a different way. They're both terrifying.
Headmans the puck to Drow.
I think they both make children cry. Here come the Calgary Flames.
McDavid picking it up and
The shot on goal doesn't work. McDavid breaking it out. Evander Kane
can't beat Anderson, who
stripped.
knocks him down.
Flames break it out again.
Defensive play and Kachuk starts back.
Flames going right at the Oilers' top line. They don't really have a choice. Only 12 minutes to go here in regulation. And you need a goal. Draisaitl out wide. Kane has it, puts it on.
Ricocheted past McDavid and played out to center. Nurse is going to drift it right back in.
Oilers are getting deep again.
Now Draisaitl looks for it, but Kachuk there for Calgary.
Keep doing your checklist if you're the Flames.
Oh boy, Draisaitl doesn't look comfortable at all, does he?
Of the McDavid line, and each time there's been a good defensive
It's amazing how many points he's been able to put up and how well the Oilers have been able to do in these playoffs with Draisaitl at who even knows what percent. Hyman, high and deep.
Going after it, rides Tanev into the corner. Barry tries to seal the boards, but it's played out.
Nifty little play from Lindholm.
Out there against Puljujarvi.
But Mangiapane should be going off for cross-checking for sure. Got him right in the face. And the Flames have like 8 dudes on the ice right now. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I can't believe that's what got called. Mangiapane got away with a cross-check to the face. Flames called for too many men because there were. Now you got the tough. Oh man, it was 6. Like I thought it was just the little mix-up at the bench. I'm pointing like you can see what I'm pointing at. I thought it was just the mix-up at the bench, but it was quite a bit. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Oilers Power Play when we come back. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that when you're trying to make a comeback in the third period and you take a too many men on the ice call, that's a dang it. Flames, I thought it was just a little mix-up in front of the bench for a split second, and they get caught for too many men. No, they had 6 guys out there for a solid 5 Mississippi. And the Oilers have a chance to pad their lead. Under 11. Wow! Interference. No kidding. Well, that was over in a hurry.
Key warrior sitting on the Calgary bench is Chris Tanev. Here
Or are they calling it offside?
They run into each other,
Oh, Tanev got drilled there.
Shoulder again in the arm, and boy, he spent that entire break just
Oh,
trying to work things out.
nursing that shoulder. He's got like 3 teeth. That's a playoff face, ladies and gentlemen. Chewing his gum, I'm not sure what. The call was offside. I thought that was a penalty. All right.
Gives you great support for your teammates, and you know how much he's hurting.
Oilers with about 90 seconds to get an insurance marker here. They turn it over at the blue line there. The Flames will attack. You know, Lewis tries to go to the net, doesn't work. Strong play there from the Oilers. Here comes Draisaitl. McDavid to Nuge. Oh, Nuge lost it a little bit. Oilers hold on to it. Barry holds that ozone blue line. McDavid. Draisaitl. It's amazing what he can do standing still. McDavid to Draisaitl! Stop by Markstrom! What a stop! Oh my goodness, his best save of the game. Under a minute to go in this power play. McDavid. Tyson Barrie with that patented weird Barrie receives the puck on his backhand, holding the stick wrong thing. I don't know what to call it. It weirds me out every time I see it. But he's always done it. Draisaitl gets it to McDavid. Why not? That's a good player to pass to. Backlund breaks up the pass. Oilers hold on to it, though. Bouchard, errant pass, and it'll go deep into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith comes out to play it, but only 5. Whoa. How was that allowed, man? Mike Smith plays it through the trapezoid. Hilarious. Flames clear it. Did that go in? What? No! You're joking! The Flames just tied it? You're joking! Huh. What happened? What on earth happened? I gotta see the replay. I don't think the camera was even on. There's that spectacular save from Markstrom, and then what happened here? Whack! Oh my gosh! Smith had no idea it was even coming.
What a play by Anderson. You know, just
Anderson with a Hail Mary shot.
Until it was gone by him. The reaction by Smith, stunning.
Hockey is the best. That dude didn't even believe it. And with 9:04 to go, that's a dang it. The Calgary Flames come back from 3-0 down, and that's how they did it? Well, first goal of the game is no longer the worst one. That might be the worst goal of the playoffs. I cannot believe it.
I mean, it's just such a shock. This crowd that's been
I'm stunned. I'm stunned right now. I saw Smith react. I had no idea to what.
Unsuspecting, a great penalty kill, and now you've got all the momentum going your way. Goal by Nick Lidstrom against Dan Cloutier.
I don't know what to say, which is a big problem for me.
And if memory serves me correctly, that tied a game.
Chad, are you losing your mind right now?
Detroit came back to
win
that series and win that game.
What are the odds? What are the actual odds?
Under 8 to go here in the third period.
Calgary, now with all the momentum, puts it on. I mean, why not just throw it on? Just throw it on. You never know what's going to happen, do you? Hanneman in front. Oh, the Flames were playing timid at the beginning of the game. Then they were playing with fear, and now they're playing with outright bloodlust. It's a 3-3 game. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that we got a dang it per side so far tonight. Markstrom, about 30 seconds in, gives the puck away, gets the Oilers on the board. And just now, Mike Smith gives up a goal from 170 feet, 160 feet. Was Anderson in the Flame zone when that happened? I'm stunned. And here come the Oilers. Nurse! Stopped by Markstrom. Wide open in the slot. Flames managed to clear it. Nugent Hopkins chased down by Tkachuk. Oilers get it out. Kane. Unable to get past Goodbranson. He's been having to do a lot of work on this line. It's Zadorov. But the Flames will break it out. Zadorov through the middle of the ice. Oh, the Flames! Ah, I thought he held the line there. Very close, very close. I'd have to see the replay. Yeah, there's Smith playing it through the trapezoid. The Oilers break it back up the other way. Anderson, and I guess, I don't know, does Smith just not get set? What are you throwing your arms up for? What are you upset about? What is happening in the Battle of Alberta? Dude. Oh. I need a vibe check in the chat. Flames fans, Oilers fans, how you feeling? Flames fans, is it you find out bad news and then they tell you never mind? Is that how you're feeling? You're not satisfied on account of you haven't won the game? Oilers fans, are nihilistic laughter, devastation? Where are you at? How's this for a poll question? Oh, my phone is just lighting up. Lighting up. Oh, my God. How's this for a poll question? Was that the worst goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs? Who had a worse one? Vasilevsky had one in the first game of the playoffs where he gave it away. Smith had a bad one in the Kings series. Wasn't that bad, though. Markstrom had a bad one in this game. That's the worst goal of the playoffs, man. That's the worst goal of the playoffs. I don't know what he was throwing his arms up for. There wasn't a player within 50 feet of you. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. From producer Rob, the biggest vibe check is sweaty, anger. Dude, imagine not watching and loving hockey. It is, listen, it's a truly goofy sport and an even goofier league. But I live for moments like that. You never know. And here come the Oilers. Yamamoto, ton of speed. Fogel, who I thought was potentially going to be leaving the game in the first period. That's a high stick. Flames touch it first, though. A few players have left this game with injury and returned. Cassian was another. Over 1,000 votes in the poll. 89% of you say yes. I'm curious what the other 11% think is the worst goal of these playoffs. Coleman, Stanley Cup pedigree, fires it on. Blocked. Oilers looking to get it out. Got to get it out, though. Barry gets it out. Flames stuff the Oilers at the blue line. But there's McDavid with Noah Hannafin. Oh, boy. He's got his dancing shoes. Ooh. He tries to flip it over Markstrom. It doesn't work. Flames block it at the blue line. And they have a man sprung loose. They go for a line change. Keith almost picked off there. Flames go offside. Don't blow the whistle, though. Definitely thought they were offside with possession in the Oilers zone, but okay. Bouchard, he's going to work it around Keith here. It almost doesn't make it.
Bouchard up the boards. There's Zadorov.
Zadorov cuts it off, fires it on, stopped.
Dangle and off Smith, and away goes Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl in.
Draisaitl.
Around to the far side, no Oiler there.
Playing on 1 foot, you can tell. He had some speed there. Gaudreau, 1-on-4. Didn't like his chances, so he flipped it in on Mike Smith.
A stretch to Draisaitl at center as
You gotta wonder.
Backhanded in and
Oh,
just bounce past.
it really does feel like every shot could go in. On either goalie. It's wild. Markstrom stops that one, though.
I think he saw that all the way, and now he has words for the official. Not sure if he thought he heard a whistle there.
Absolutely unbelievable. Lucic in the corner with Nurse. There's a big matchup.
Yamamoto.
Oilers will get it out.
Up ahead for
Hyman into the corner. He loves it there. Yamamoto throws it in front. Rebound. Oilers score with under 4 minutes to go. That one beats Markstrom on the rebound. I think it was, I'll have to get a replay. I think it was Tyson Barrie throwing it on, and Nuge with his second of the game. He had this game's first goal. Does he have the last? There was Nuge getting it deep for Hyman. Yamamoto works it around, throws it in front. Barrie puts it on, and Nuge on the doorstep. Shillington can't clear his man. Oilers surrender a 3-goal lead, but all they have to do is end the game with 1. Shillington knows that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And with under 3.5 minutes to go in this game, the Flames need another one, and I don't think it's going to come as easy as the third one.
At 16:33 to break a 3-3 tie. But not done yet. Still over 3 minutes to go. Calgary
Just bedlam in Edmonton right now. So raucous. Backlund. Mangiapane knocked off his feet. No, he throws it in front. No one's home. No one in friendly jersey anymore. Whoa. Whoa. We got a penalty here. I saw gloves flying. What happened there?
The whistle sounds, a little bit of post-whistle activity. Well, that one came up and
oh, McLeod, bloody face. What happened to him?
And it's Anderson who scored the goal. He's the one.
We got to get a look at this replay. It was along the boards. I didn't see all of it.
And
McLeod. Oh, McLeod getting some. I was about to say some work done, but it's really just someone preventing him blood from falling out of his nose. Oh! And okay, so what the Oilers didn't like. So obviously, I think it was Anderson's stick got right up in McLeod's face. That's got to be a double minor. We'll have an Oilers power play after this break. talk about the worst timed break of all time, but, you got to pay the bills. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. So, Cole's notes. Oilers go up 3-0. Flames erase it entirely. And the tying goal was from like 170 feet away. It was the biggest blooper and piece of crap of all time. Oilers retake the lead. Tyson Barrie puts it on. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets the rebound. And the Oilers go up with about 3.5 minutes to play. And with 2:40 left in the third, Anderson takes the worst time penalty of these playoffs with a double minor for high sticking. Just busting McLeod wide open. There's no room for argument even. It's definitely a penalty. And now the Flames are just going to be trying to score shorthanded, basically. And Backlund almost does. And we'll get an ozone draw here for the Flames. Now, if you're Daryl Sutter, how the heck does pulling the goalie work? Because think about it. You got an ozone draw here. How many of those are you going to get? But 2 minutes, 16 seconds is a ton of time. This is not 6-on-5 if you're pulling the goalie here. It's 5-on-5. Looks like they'll hold off for now. Anderson, the man who tied it for the Flames, goes to the box. And what's wild is if the Flames were to tie it, they would play the rest of the game and potentially start overtime on the penalty kill. Oh, dangerous play there at the side of the net. And here come the Oilers, 2-on-1. This was bound to happen. Nuge looking for the hat trick. Doesn't get it. Wide. Where's the puck? Where? Cameraman lied to us all. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Mangiapane. He scored a lot of goals this year. Gets it deep. Tanev back in the lineup, looking to make the biggest of impacts. Mangiapane behind the net. Can't come up with it. Yamamoto brings it back. Toffoli chasing after it. Oilers probably happy to just run out the clock. Nope, here they come in the attack. Yamamoto. To Ceci. Nurse. Nuge! Stopped by Markstrom, who looks to play it but doesn't. Nuge with the hat trick. Would be something. Would be something indeed. What a weird bounce. Here's that chance that Nuge had. Oh! Off the corner of Markstrom's blocker. What a game, man! What a game! Face off in the Flames end, and this is what I was talking about. You got 1:10 to go here. And the Flames might not get possession for the rest of the game. Or they might get it immediately, but they're on the penalty kill. This is a tough one. A miracle pass. Flames 1-on-4. Nothing doing. They pull the goalie, so it's 5-on-5 now. Oh! Flames somehow don't get picked off in the neutral zone. They get it deep. And it sails off the glass. Not out. I don't think everyone realized it right away. 30 seconds to go here. Oilers get it out with a chance to ice it if Vander Kane does not miss. Another one for Vander Kane. And the Edmonton Oilers are about to take a 3-1 series lead in the Battle of Alberta. And what a battle it has been tonight. No lead is safe in this series. No lead at all. The 3-0 lead that the Oilers gave up in this game wasn't even the biggest lead given up in this series. And both teams that have given up big leads in this series, game 1 and now game 4, have gone on to win anyway. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's what I learned tonight. Dying seconds of the game. Do I detect shenanigans? Probably. Yep, there it is. There it is at the benches. Cassian's out on the ice. It's all peaceful so far. The clock will wind down. Another long one on Mike Smith, but he stops that one, and he gets the win. The Edmonton Oilers are 1 game away from the Final Four. Daryl Sutter's squad, Game 5 on Thursday, has no choice but to go into miracle mode, as they are now on the brink of elimination.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who started the game with the game's first goal, got the all-important game.
Oilers fans throwing it all on the ice, and why not?
Calgary with a 3-1 lead for the Edmonton Oilers.
Replica Stanley Cup, why not? Mask with the ears painted on. You know what? He's the winning goalie. Why not? The Edmonton Oilers with the 5-3 victory. A little bit of bend, but no break. They'll have an opportunity to ice it in Calgary on Thursday. What a game. What a series. Oilers fans, please forgive me. But as a neutral observer, this series ending in 5. No. I'm sorry, you're not allowed. You can't. Please, speaking on behalf of the hockey world outside of Edmonton, you're not allowed to take this series away from us. It's too fun. It's too ridiculous. And I tell you what, if you do end this series in 5, you have to do it in some ridiculous way. You got to be down like 7-0 and come back. Or you got to be up 7-0, blow it, and then win anyway. You got to do something ridiculous. You got to give me a McDavid 10-point game. 11. Break Sittler's record. It's do whatever you need to do. Just entertain us. The Battle of Alberta has been too good. The Battle of Florida was supposed to be good. It sucked, and it was over fast, and it was good that it was over fast because it sucked. The Battle of Alberta has been too good for it to be over fast. The Edmonton Oilers are earning it. Calgary Flames, they need to remind us of who they were in the regular season. They got to figure out how to start a game. As good as the Flames were for most of the second period and a lot of the third, game's over after the first. Not literally, but you're chasing it until you get a miracle goal. You used up your one miracle goal. If Mike Smith gives you another one, fine, but you can't expect it. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I think that's it. Oh, shoot, I said Leafs again. No! No. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. So let me end it before I screw it up again. That is it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Game 5 in Calgary on Thursday. Do or die.